Reddit, the front page of the internet, has captivated millions with its endless stream of content. But behind the upvotes and discussion threads lies a dark underbelly. Brace yourself as we uncover shocking truths, including tragic events and controversies that will make you question everything about the website. The journey of Alexis Ohanian and Steve Huffman, the masterminds behind Reddit, is a tale of ambition, passion, and a relentless pursuit of their dreams. Growing up, these two visionaries were captivated by the limitless potential of technology. Huffman, a self-taught programmer from a young age, spent hours exploring computers and the digital landscape. Meanwhile, Ohanian's insatiable curiosity led him to immerse himself in online communities, igniting his fascination with technology. As fate would have it, their paths crossed at the University of Virginia in 2001. Ohanian, initially pursuing a career in commerce and history, reached a pivotal moment during an LSAT exam where he faced a crucial decision that would shape his future. 20 minutes into the exam, Alexis had a moment of clarity and realized he didn't want to be a lawyer working for someone else. With this sudden revelation, he walked out and headed to the nearest Waffle House, realizing his true calling lay elsewhere. With a newfound sense of purpose, he returned to his dorm to convince his roommate to join him in starting a company. Huffman and Ohanian's shared passion for innovation, entrepreneurship, and computer science made them a formidable duo. The road to success was paved with late nights, endless lines of code, and a relentless drive to innovate. But before Reddit could become the juggernaut it is today, Huffman and Ohanian had to navigate the treacherous waters of startup life. Their first venture, a mobile food ordering service, seemed like a promising idea, but unbeknownst to them, it would be the catalyst for something far greater. In 2005, Steve and Alexis conceived an idea to revolutionize the dining experience by allowing people to bypass waiting in line to order food, instead enabling them to order directly from their phones. They called it My Mobile Menu, or for short. However, this was during an era when the most advanced mobile device available was the Palm Trio. During spring break of their senior year, Paul Graham, one of Steve's idols, announced he would be giving a speech about building startups at Harvard. The pair knew they had to attend. Graham founded ViaWeb, the first ever online store during the dot-com boom, and sold it to Yahoo for $50 million. This success provided him financial security to focus on his artistic pursuits and share startup and programming insights, making him a prominent figure in the tech community in the early 2000s. After Graham finished his talk, Steve wasted no time approaching him and getting him to sign a copy of his book. Shortly after, Alexis stepped in and said, "Dr. Graham, it would totally be worth the cost of buying you a drink to get your opinion on our startup. We've come all the way from Virginia." Impressed, Paul agreed. Later that night, Steve and Alexis met with Paul for coffee to discuss their idea. Graham was enthusiastic, reinforcing their confidence. Paul mentioned that he was thinking of launching a program to invest in early-stage founders called Y Combinator. He encouraged the pair to apply for the first round of funding, which would be in a few weeks. Eager to seize the opportunity, they applied and were later invited to Boston for an interview scheduled on Saturday, April 9, 2005. When pitching their idea for My Mobile Menu to the Y Combinator team, Huffman and Ohanian found themselves facing a wall of skepticism. Although intrigued, the investors ultimately decided to pass on the project. The challenge was twofold. Without app stores, getting their software on phones required negotiating deals with mobile carriers, a significant feat for a new company. Secondly, convincing restaurants, known for their reluctance to adopt new technologies, posed an additional hurdle. Deflated, yet eager to prove Y Combinator wrong, the duo boarded a train back home. Their dreams temporarily derailed, but fate had other plans in store. Somewhere around Connecticut, Huffman and Ohanian's journey was interrupted by an unexpected call from none other than Paul Graham. He expressed his desire for them to return, but under the condition that they come up with something different. Without hesitating, they got off at the next stop and turned back. When arriving back at the Y Combinator office, Steve and Alexis met with Paul Graham alone, without his partners. Paul suggested that the duo consider creating something for the browser, a solution aimed at alleviating frustrations commonly experienced while using the internet. During that time, many news websites lacked effective content filtering. Inspired by platforms like Slashdot and Delicious, Steve and Alexis envisioned something more substantial. They aimed to curate popular links for sharing, not just for bookmarking. Paul Graham solidified this vision during their meeting by declaring, "That's it, you should build the front page of the web." With renewed energy, purpose, and $12,000 of funding from Y Combinator, Ohanian and Huffman threw themselves into the development of their idea with the support of Paul Graham. The name of the website was chosen by Alexis and Steve to reflect the platform's concept of sharing and discussing content. The idea was that users would read it and then engage in discussions. By combining read with it, they created the catchy and memorable name Reddit, with the intentional use of a lowercase r for a casual and approachable vibe. Graham urged Steve and Alexis to launch Reddit, even if it wasn't perfect. And so, in June 2005, Reddit made its debut on the internet. In the early days, Reddit faced significant challenges, with a small user base struggling to gain traction. Desperate to spark activity, the founders resorted to creating fake accounts to simulate engagement. This tactic sparked ethical debates. However, as genuine users discovered the platform, the fake accounts faded into the background. Reddit's unique community-driven content and voting system attracted users, transforming the platform into a vibrant community. Huffman and Ohanian watched in awe as their creation blossomed into a force to be reckoned with. Initially, Alexis and Steve disagreed over how to categorize content on Reddit. Alexis suggested using tags, but Steve was concerned about subjectivity and user consensus. They decided to create separate communities called subreddits for different content types, which became fundamental to the site's structure. As Reddit's popularity grew, the possibility of acquisition arose, offering potential wealth and resources. Little did they know, their path was about to intersect with another brilliant mind. Aaron Schwartz, an accomplished 18-year-old programmer, had already made a name for himself in the tech world. Backed by Y Combinator, Schwartz founded Infogamy, a company focused on web development tools. However, financial difficulties and a lack of collaborators threatened his project. On his 19th birthday, Paul Graham proposed a solution: merging with Reddit. In late 2005, 6 months after the launch, Reddit and Infogamy joined forces under the new umbrella company Not a Bug Incorporated. After the merger, Steve, Alexis, and Aaron each held an equal 24% stake, with Paul owning 7% and the rest reserved for future prospects. Shortly after, Reddit began innovating by introducing the comment section, a feature that transformed simple link sharing into vibrant user engagement and discussions. They also implemented a karma system, publicly scoring each user's contributions to incentivize high-quality content creation within the community. Initially, Steve, Alexis, and Aaron worked well together, but tensions soon simmered. Despite Aaron being acknowledged as a co-founder, Steve and Alexis felt it was unfair given their early groundwork for Reddit. This discord marked the start of escalating tensions between them. As Reddit gained prominence, media giant Condé Nast, known for magazines like Vogue and GQ, showed interest in acquiring it. Despite Reddit's young age, the founders faced a tough decision when offered millions for their creation, considering the possibility of selling. Following months of tense negotiations, Condé Nast and Reddit neared the brink of finalizing a deal, though a notable concern lingered: Aaron Schwartz. Schwartz openly expressed apprehensions regarding the potential ramifications of a colossal media conglomerate assuming control of a small website intended to grant users autonomy and control. However, in 2006, just a year after its launch, Reddit was acquired by Condé Nast on Halloween for a staggering $10 to $20 million, turning the founders into millionaires overnight. The agreement also required them to remain involved with Reddit for another 3 years. Under Condé Nast's ownership, Reddit gained resources and expertise that helped it scale up, reaching a wider audience. However, as Reddit grew, so did the challenges it faced. As the site became more corporate, Schwartz clashed with the new management, rarely showing up to the office and openly expressing dislike for the environment. He disagreed with executives over censorship, user privacy, and free speech, which made him a polarizing figure. Aaron was ultimately fired from Reddit in 2007, sparking controversy within the community. Some viewed him as a champion of free speech, while others felt he had crossed professional boundaries. Nevertheless, Reddit had much bigger problems to take care of. They weren't making any money, and that had to change quickly. Until 2008, only employees of Reddit could create new subreddits despite growing user demand. To meet this demand, Reddit empowered all users to create their own subreddits, leading to a diverse array of topics, from TV shows to financial advice and memes. This not only diversified Reddit's user base, but also relied on unpaid user moderators to manage these communities efficiently. By the end of 2008, the platform had amassed over 2 million users and hosted more than 10,000 subreddits. But monetizing this engagement was easier said than done. Reddit relied on a simple advertising model, placing ads alongside user-generated content, but the user base began to bristle at the presence of intrusive advertising. Around this time, Alexis faced a personal crisis following his mother's death from cancer, which strained his relationship with Steve. They began having heated arguments at the office, with Steve accusing Alexis of secretive behavior and Alexis feeling Steve mismanaged company resources. In 2009, when their contract with Condé Nast ended, both Alexis and Steve left Reddit. By then, their friendship had largely deteriorated. But Reddit's struggles with monetization would soon be overshadowed by a much larger battle. In 2011, Congress proposed a bill called the Stop Online Piracy Act, or SOPA, which aimed to crack down on copyright infringement and online piracy. Many in the tech world saw it as a threat to free speech and innovation. In protest, Reddit, along with other major websites like Wikipedia and Google, decided to take a stand by shutting down its site for 12 hours on January 18, 2012. The blackout was a powerful statement, and it helped to galvanize opposition to the bill. In the face of widespread public outcry, Congress eventually abandoned the legislation. The fight against SOPA took a toll on Aaron Schwartz, a former Reddit member turned vocal activist for internet freedom. Schwartz saw the bill as a threat to the open internet and passionately opposed it. However, his involvement in the cause ultimately led to his downfall. In 2011, Schwartz was arrested for breaking into MIT's computer network and downloading millions of academic journal articles with the intention of making them freely available. He faced multiple felony charges, risking up to 35 years in prison and a $1 million fine. Aaron rejected a plea deal of 6 months in jail to avoid having a felony on his record for life. His counteroffer to the prosecution was rejected. The case took a devastating toll on Schwartz's mental health. Struggling with depression and feeling increasingly isolated, he tragically took his own life in January 2013 at the age of 26. Schwartz's death reverberated through the Reddit community and beyond, becoming a rallying cry for those who believed in technology's power to effect change. He was inducted into the Internet Hall of Fame for his contributions to Reddit, RSS, and Creative Commons. However, Schwartz was later removed from Reddit's co-founder page and largely erased from the platform's history after his passing. In March 2012, a member of the PayPal mafia assumed the role of CEO at Reddit. At this time, the site was experiencing a significant growth, reaching billions of page views per month. However, this rapid expansion also brought about challenges for Reddit. One recurring and significant issue that Reddit faced was the ease with which anyone could create a subreddit, leading to the rapid growth of disturbing, controversial, and violent communities. Following the Boston Marathon bombings, a massive manhunt ensued to capture the perpetrators of the tragic attack that claimed 3 lives and injured hundreds. In response, a subreddit titled Find Boston Bombers was established with the aim of identifying suspects. However, this effort led to a wrongful accusation against Sunil Tripathi, a missing college student. Sunil's name widely circulated on Reddit, resulting in harassment towards his family and friends. Ultimately, on April 19th, authorities arrested the actual perpetrators of the bombing, and sadly, on April the 23rd, Sunil's body was discovered, revealing his innocence in the attack. The negative consequences of Reddit's unmoderated environment became apparent, with media outlets blaming the platform for fueling witch hunts and spreading misinformation. Pressure mounted on Reddit executives to enforce stricter moderation and oversight, but CEO Yishan Wang initially resisted, advocating for a hands-off approach to content moderation. However, as the platform faced escalating controversies and public backlash, Yishan eventually implemented measures to moderate offensive content, including banning subreddits like Beating Women that featured graphic violence against women. Yishan's tenure as CEO was marked by internal conflicts over content policies and escalating external pressures from users, investors, and the media. In 2014, after just 2 years, Yishan resigned, citing personal stress and disagreements with the board. Ellen Pao, who was then serving as Reddit's vice president, was appointed as CEO, with the goal of improving Reddit's reputation. Around the same time, Alexis Ohanian returned to the company as executive chairman, signaling a positive direction for Reddit's future. However, things would change when Ellen began clashing with Redditors by publicly stating that Reddit is not a completely free speech platform. The situation worsened when she abruptly fired Victoria Taylor, a highly respected Reddit employee. In response, moderators of hundreds of subreddits shut down their communities, resulting in a site-wide blackout. Pressure against Ellen mounted rapidly, with petitions for her resignation gathering over 160,000 signatures. Ultimately, Ellen Pao stepped down as CEO after just 7 months in the role due to the mounting discontent and protests from the Reddit community. Reddit was facing significant challenges in achieving stability, requiring a third CEO within a span of just 1 year. Steve Huffman, unwilling to see the company he co-founded fail, returned to Reddit as CEO in 2015. With both original co-founders back at the helm, almost a decade after they initially sold the site, optimism grew regarding Reddit's future. Not long after, Reddit saw positive developments, such as improvements to the site's design and the launch of official apps for both Android and iPhone, providing a clearer direction for the platform. However, this progress was short-lived. In 2016, Steve became embroiled in a scandal when users posted critical comments about him on the subreddit The Donald. Steve edited comments to redirect the insults towards the subreddit's moderators, which he described as trolling the trolls. Many Redditors viewed this action as a breach of trust, as it undermined Reddit's image as a truly open and transparent platform. As a result, Steve's reputation within the Reddit community suffered greatly. Unfortunately, things would soon get even worse. In April 2023, Reddit announced it would start charging for access to its API at a rate of 24 cents per 1,000 API requests. This change affected third-party apps and websites that retrieve data from Reddit. Popular third-party apps like Apollo faced costs of $20 million per year and so were forced to shut down. The sudden announcement of high API fees sparked outrage in the Reddit community, and so subreddit moderators staged a blackout, shutting down thousands of subreddits. This blackout garnered media attention as one of the largest online protests. However, despite the backlash, Reddit went ahead with the API changes. Reddit argued that the API changes were necessary due to the company's lack of profitability, as third-party apps were using Reddit's content without generating ad revenue for the platform. While Reddit's decision was driven by business considerations, many users felt that the situation could have been handled better, especially by improving Reddit's own app to meet user needs and reduce reliance on third-party tools. Reddit currently boasts 1.4 billion monthly unique visitors, solidifying its status as one of the most popular websites globally. Despite challenges, Reddit's users have showcased remarkable collective action, raising substantial funds for charities and orphanages. Additionally, Reddit is a valuable resource for information, often providing top answers on Google searches. A notable demonstration of Reddit's community power occurred in 2021. Reddit users collectively drove GameStop shares up over 16,000% from under $3 to $483, causing losses for large hedge funds and gains for many Reddit users. On March 24, 2024, Reddit started trading on the New York Stock Exchange with the ticker RDDT. Shares opened at $47, peaked at $57.80, and closed at $50.44 by the end of the trading day. The IPO valued Reddit at $6.4 billion, raising $748 million, with Reddit collecting about $519 million. Reddit reserved 8% of the shares for eligible users, moderators, board members, and friends and family of employees, reflecting its commitment to involving the community in its success. Well, that's it, folks. Thank you for watching. If you've enjoyed the video, please remember to leave a like and subscribe if you haven't already. I've been your host, Tom, for Truths Exposed, and I'll see you in the next one.